met this young man with this pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him and another 7 to try to keep him locked up because I realized of what was living inside was purely and simply evil. Hello, welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with my partner in crime, Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
And we're here to do my expert in Novice Halloween edition on the 1978 original Halloween. And a classic for me. So, here I'll start this overview.
Yeah.
Halloween is a 1978 independent slasher film directed and scored by John Carpenter. The film was written by Carpenter and producer Deborah Hill. The film stars Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis in her film debut.
Well, why don't you go into the synopsis?
Okay. Mental patient who has committed to a sanitarium for murdering his teenage sister on Halloween night at the age of 6 escapes the institution and returns to his hometown 15 years later. When returning, he stalks a female babysitter and her friends while under pursuit by his psychiatrists. So, what do you think of the film?
I was actively surprised on how good it was.
Yep.
Yeah, there are definitely some things that are of its time.
Yeah.
And seeing as though this is kind of... I don't know if it's exactly the first slasher film. I mean...
There were a couple of slasher films before this.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I mean, heck, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 74. This is 78.
Yeah.
But... Seen as though it's the film that kind of set the hallmarks or the stereotypes that you tend to use with these types of films, I think it did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I thought it was really good for its time. It was a bit slow paced at times, which it was trying to be suspenseful in some ways, which was fine at the time. A lot of dated 70s references and stuff, yeah.
Oh, Lord, the button-up sweater, that's a cardigan. High-waisted pants that they be wearing.
Well, let's go into the characters. Starting with Donald Pleasence himself. Blofeld is back, only as a hero this time.
Yeah. Donald Pleasence is Dr. Sam Loomis.
Yep.
I thought he was fantastic.
Yep.
I think he was definitely the right person to play this, psychiatrist that tried his best to connect and understand Michael Myers, but realized that there's no way. Yeah. There's no way. You can't help him. You can't cure him. The only thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to kill him.
Yeah. Which everyone else thought it was too harsh. All the nurses and stuff. The doctors. Remember on the drive before he escapes?
Yeah. But, I mean, the fact that how many years? 15 years he never uttered a word.
Yeah.
Never uttered a single word. Never did anything.
Yep.
But the one moment he gets the opportunity to escape, he's doing all this crazy stuff.
Yep.
Really? You think it's too harsh? He's the freaking boogeyman.
Yep. And originally, Pleasence wasn't considered to be Loomis. It was going to be Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing. But they couldn't afford him.
Well, I mean, I mean, can you blame him? I mean, that when you're trying to get either the man with the golden gun or, Grand Moff Tarkin, what you gonna do? That is, hefty paydays.
Yep, and I did like Donald Pleasant's performance. He's the Van Helsing in this movie, and understanding the evil and what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then this is also introduces us to Jamie Lee Curtis in her film debut.
Yeah, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And for a woman that doesn't enjoy scary movies tend to be, a major part of her legacy.
Yep. Yep. She did it because she was a big fan of John Carpenter's early work, like I saw Precinct 13. Same goes with Donald Pleasance. The reason he joined was because of his daughter liked to saw Precinct 13. So he was kind of convinced to do it.
Hey.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yep. And they filmed under a very small independent movie schedule.
Yeah, it only took 3 weeks to film?
Yeah, 3 or 6 weeks, one of the two. Yep. And then, speaking of the Boogeyman, Michael Myers, played by 3 different people.
Well, we didn't technically talk too much about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah. Laurie Strode's the girl who he's the only one who really noticed as Michael.
Yeah.
When her other friends are like, nah, you're seeing things, Laurie, that aren't there.
And plus, she is the precursor of the final girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. The what tends to be the person that has to stop the main villain by the end of the film. Mm-hmm. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis did a very good job. Mm-hmm. Especially since this was her first major acting role.
Yeah.
She did a very good job.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see how things evolved over time.
Yeah. Now we should mention the shape.
Yes,
Michael Myers is played by 3 people. Nicholas Castle is Michael Myers for most of the movie. Tony Moran as the disfigured Michael Myers. And Will said that as the 6-year-old killer Michael Myers. Yeah, they were both mainly Nicholas Castle was really good. He just stood there and was just in the background most of the time.
Just stalking, breathing loud, being all menacing.
Yep, he did. And so he did the killings, and some of them were really...
And plus, I actually like his reactions after he does some of the actions. Some of the things that he does in the film kind of reminds me a lot of characters that I know from other things. His whole head tilt, looking at what he's done, and especially the whole rise up. All I could think about was The Undertaker or Kane from the WWE.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Tony Moran was him when he got injured during the final battle.
Yeah, we actually get to see the monster's face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a weird way, it's kind of humanizing him, but at the same time, there's no human there.
Yep. And then let's get to her friends, the victims.
Oof.
PJ Souls as Linda, and Nancy Kyes as Annie, or Nancy Loomis as Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the friends who cared about being horny.
Yeah. Yeah. Another hallmark of a slasher film. All these teenagers care about are, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And usually the killer does not.
Yeah. PJ Souls was there for fan service. Basically, for the fans. Totally for the fan service. From her catchphrase. And to have a catchphrase, totally. Yep. He played mainly the dumb blonde out of all that.
Yeah.
Dumb blonde with fan service for the movie.
Yeah. And I actually did kind of like Annie, despite the fact of
she was always being a bitch to Lori.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel as though all of her friends got the raw deal on this one.
Yeah.
Major raw deal.
Yeah. Yep. Well, they should have believed Lori on that.
Yeah.
And then there's Sheriff Brackett, the guy to help Loomis do exposition with, and also Annie's father, played by Charles Cyphers.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job, and I also feel bad for him because he did not heed Loomis's warnings. And now look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
And we'll be seeing him in the upcoming Halloween Kills.
Yeah, they actually brought the man out of retirement. This man has been retired from filming since 2007. But hey, continuity.
Then Kyle Richards in her film that debut as Lindsay. Before she became a real housewife, she was just a little girl who watched TV while Annie and or Lori was babysitting her. That was mainly her thing, was just watching TV. Or running away from Michael.
And compared to most child actors, she did a good job. Same thing with Brian Andrews as Tommy Doyle.
Yep.
Both of them did a good job.
Yep. Tommy was the other Lori who sometimes when Lori played the idiot ball, when Tommy said, "I saw the boogeyman," she's like, "There's no one there."
Oh my God, now I'm starting to see. What is it with the final guy always being named Tommy? Tommy Doyle, Tommy Jarvis.
But this was before Tommy Jarvis.
Interesting.
And they're both coming back for the upcoming sequel, although the actor playing Tommy will be played by a different actor in this Halloween Kills movie because the actor's retired.
Yeah.
But we do get the original Lindsay back, all grown up, in the upcoming sequel.
And apparently everybody had a good time filming.
Yep. And then Nancy Stevens as Marion Chambers for that one scene with Dr. Loomis.
Ah, yes, the nurse that didn't seem to realize how dangerous of an individual Michael Myers is. But she did survive, though. Big ups on her.
Now let's count the other continuities.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, but those aren't canon anymore.
And she's going to be back in Halloween Kills.
Yeah. I guess everybody was still living in Haddonfield 40 years later.
Yeah, 40 years later, yep. But the good is the iconic score.
Ah, yes.
The thing that introduced me to Halloween was the score. When I went trick-or-treating as a kid, I didn't know about the movie. I just knew about the score because I kept listening to it because I think one of the neighbors was playing all the horror soundtrack music. And so this was the soundtrack, like one of the tracks that kept playing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I've always known of the Halloween score.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a time I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's equally as iconic as, Jason Voorhees' Key, 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 Ma, 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 and Freddy Krueger's nursery rhyme theme.
The atmosphere with the suspense was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not quite sure when Michael Myers was going to strike, or if he was going to strike at all. Pretty much.
And plus the dramatic stings of the...
Yeah. Then the acting, especially from Jamie Lee Curtis and the kids. And, well, everyone did pretty well. Even the victims did pretty well.
Yeah, everybody actually did do a good job. You know, people weren't being hammy or too over the top.
Yeah.
There was kind of a sense of realism with this one.
Yeah. They acted like teenagers from the 70s.
Yeah.
The design of the mask was really cool.
Yeah. Which, is it true that it is a William Shatner mask?
Yes, it was a Captain Kirk mask that they painted white. Yeah. Then the ambiguity of Michael Myers' actions.
Yes, this is definitely one thing I want to go into. Usually with most killers, you kind of understand their methods and why they do the things they do. I mean, Jason Voorhees, physically, mentally disfigured and handicapped individual, is essentially doing the things that his mother told him to do because these people are doing bad things, therefore they must suffer for doing the bad things, especially since the fact they let him drown. The unfortunate sadness that is Freddy Krueger, the fact that he ended up becoming a serial killer because just a messed up individual. Billy Loomis and others from Scream.
Another Loomis.
Yeah. I mean, apparently they just... I forget, why did Loomis do the things he did?
I haven't watched Scream forever, so I don't...
Yeah, but there was a reason, and then Matthew Lillard, Shaggy, he peer pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with Michael Myers, there is no reason.
Mm-hmm.
He is an agent of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing it because he can do it.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the most interesting and compelling things. That there's no explanation. There's no deep down cause or anything like all the other killers where it was either teaching through their own disturbed parent or the fact that they were a messed up individual and it gave them the sense of rush, or with Leatherface, food.
Michael he's just evil.
Yeah, he's evil incarnate.
Yep.
He's the agent of chaos.
Granted, he even kills people before they go to have sex, but that's
I mean, we don't even fully understand why he wanted to kill his own sister.
No.
We don't know why. And he was 6 years old.
Yep. And he did some interesting actions by killing Bob, Linda's boyfriend, and hanging him out. Maybe it's for the thrill of...
Well, remember, he did admire his work.
Yep. Which becomes a regular thing in the other Halloween sequels. And then, there is some bad.
Yeah, I mean, with it being one of the first films of its kind, or one of the first films of what the modern slasher film would be, there are some things that aren't perfect.
Yeah, the slow pace.
Yeah.
It takes forever for Michael to start actually killing his targets.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be for the atmosphere and the suspense of when things finally start, but good Lord. And the fact that the film is surprisingly short.
Yeah.
The slow pacing does kind of make it drag a little.
Yeah. Along with the unnecessary jump scares.
Yeah. But
which will also be part of a Halloween tradition for most of their sequels.
not just Halloween, just everything horror in general from this point on.
Yep. Then the lack of blood and gore, which the sequels do make up for it. Every continuity makes up for it.
Yeah. If anything, maybe John Carpenter should have gotten Tom Savini for this. The man who would later on do a lot of the effects for the Friday the 13th franchises. He makes those things look real. He really makes those things look real. I mean,
I think Carpenter just wanted to do it because he thought he wanted to make it more like an old-timey sort of horror movie.
What he wanted to do his own Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But at least show a little bit of blood.
Yeah. Yep. So, you should do the scores. Yeah.
Well, for me, I give this a 7. It's solid. It's very solid. It's a good film. It's just that some of the things that, lackluster blood and gore and the slower pace and the fact that the film isn't necessarily that long is what kind of brings it down for me.
Mine's going to be, I'm going to give a little higher, 8 out of 10. I think it's good. It starts the Halloween franchise of what it was. They made the slasher film what it is today. That they keep parodying, self-parodying it, even though although Michael Myers technically killed after they had sex, not during, like Jason would eventually do. Yeah.
Well, no, a lot of them were after. A lot of them were after.
But I also like Donald Pleasant's performance as Loomis / Van Helsing of the thing, and his quotes are really good.
Definitely.
Yeah, talk about the evil. But if you think we're too low on this, find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Find us on YouTube, The Real Screen Team. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And comment on it if you have any other favorite Halloween sequels that you want us to review in the future. But I'm going to roll us out. Well, before we go, we're continuing Expert and Novice. We're with watching the current timeline, 2018 Halloween, and tell how we feel about the new Halloween 2 to 1978 sequel. But
yeah, which makes things a bit weird because we're talking about Halloween. Now the next film, Halloween. Huh. But yet it's Halloween 2, but we already have a Halloween 2, but that's no longer canonical. So, oh no, I've gone cross-eyed now.
I'm going to roll us out just for your sanity. Thank you all. Let's fade to black.